Hi, it's Bob Kraft here, and today I want to talk on the topic of trusting God for your life. All right, now I've done that a few times in my life, and I've seen the result. It doesn't mean that it's going to go according to what you think is the purpose. However, if you put your trust fully in Jesus, uh, the Bible verse in Jeremiah 3 5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, lean on, not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight." So, I've done this, and I wanted to share with you a few examples. And again, I'm thinking about Charlie Kirk because a lot of people are having questions. I have no doubt that Charlie Kirk trusted that God would take care of everything one way or another. He put his faith totally in God and in Jesus Christ, as I have done. One is I went to the Philippines in 1986. I was training to be a missionary, and I went into a Muslim area, and I just went there to help people. But of course, I spoke about Jesus because that's who I am. That's what I was there for, along with helping people. And we left in the morning. We were there about a week, a small team of us, which I was leading the team. There were 5 of us, I think. And we had an air flight out early afternoon. We got in the van. We drove. We were staying in this house, which had been given up to us by a missionary family who were overseas, and they were coming back that afternoon and living in the house. And we went to the airport. And I found out the next day that the family had gone into the house that was their house, and the husband had gone out to visit somebody, and the wife and the daughter were murdered. And I've always felt that we were the targets, my team, or I was the target, because I was the one that was going and speaking to the Rotary clubs and places like that, predominantly Muslim. So that's one where I trusted the Lord, and I just survived. I was able to live through it. And then there was a period of time from 2009 to 2021 or 2022 when I was in Hong Kong. Again, communists were taking it over, and it was a battle between really good and evil, because people were going on the streets, and I was encouraging them in the Lord, and they would be singing hymns and using Bible verses, a lot of people, millions actually. And I always just had to trust God, because I was in a situation where I was living in a small tent, and I was talking to people. I was going out, and I had people coming up to me and attacking the tent, both government officials who were communists and just people that I didn't know. People would come up and hit me and kick me. The most dangerous I actually felt was I was in front of the Communist Army headquarters, and I had an American flag. It wasn't anything about American. It was really more about the ideals of what people believe in, they think America believes in. And it was 4th of July, and I was celebrating, and I was also encouraging others. And I always felt that I could have been targeted by a sniper and taken out from the army, PLA they call it, People's Liberation Army. But I prayed a lot, and I felt comfortable enough with what I was doing that I just continued on speaking out. I was not shot at. So these are just a few small examples of well, actually they were quite big to me personally, but where I had to trust Jesus for my safety, God. Now, some people equate God and Jesus. Some people just equate God. They leave Jesus out. I'm just telling you how I felt. And when Charlie Kirk was killed, he knew he was going into a difficult situation. He was always talking about having security, death threats, and he continued to speak out. And that's if you feel called to do that, understand that at the moment God has a different purpose, and he can actually turn any situation into good, which we're seeing now. Today is Charlie Kirk's funeral in Peoria, Arizona, and they're expecting many tens of thousands, maybe up to 60, 70,000 people to turn out for his funeral. And I'm just saying that God turned that into a good situation where people were being turned to Jesus Christ from Charlie's death. Now, his family, of course, we feel sorry for them, but at the same time, they will grow up and God will take care of that family. Jesus will bring people around them to help them. And we're seeing that now. So I'm just trying to encourage you, for those of you who are on the front line, you're speaking out, you're saying what you think is correct, and if it's in the Bible, if it's a Bible kind of context, for sure it's correct. And you understand the situation you're putting yourself in, and your friends and family. Well, all I can say, God can turn a negative into a positive. And be sure that you're called to that and take precautions as best you can. But it doesn't necessarily mean keeping quiet. And there are times you need to feel in your spirit to keep quiet. There are those kind of situations, or to move out of an environment. So I'm just sharing that with you. And for those of you who are in that situation, or you're thinking about it, remember, put your trust in God, not in man or in yourself. So thanks a lot, and we hope to see you for the next video.